Wedding photographers and filmmakers. 5 actions you can do to book more wedding photography and filmmaking clients right now. What's up guys, Jordan Correces here, co-founder of the WLMA. And if you don't know who we are a team of 6-figure wedding photographers. We have almost 1,000 students worldwide, and we've helped a ton of them scale to the 6 figures and deep 6 figures. For example, like our student Hunter Cottrell, where we helped him build a 6-figure wedding photography business.
Hi, I'm Hunter from Hunter Cottrell Photography. After joining the WLMA, I was able to build a 6-figure wedding photography business.
And if you want to make sure that you do not miss out on some of our best content, make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell in the corner. And for those who are really serious in taking things to the next level in their business, if you want, you can pause the video right now and you can register for our free masterclass and our free coaching call and strategy sessions. I'll add the link in the description of the video and I'll post it right in front of me right now for those who want to register by opening a new browser. So pause the video, do those things. Did you subscribe or register? Awesome, let's get started. So here are 5 actions you can do right now to book more wedding photography and film making clients immediately. So let's start off with number 1. Number 1 is something you can literally do today, and we call it advancing the conversation. Now, what is advancing the conversation? So you probably have social media accounts on maybe Instagram, TikTok, a Facebook page, your personal profile, and you very likely, especially if you've been working on marketing for a while, you have newly engaged couples who are following you on those platforms right now. Maybe they've been watching a lot of your wedding photography content and they simply have not sent you an inquiry yet because they are procrastinating in their wedding planning journey. So advancing the conversation is when, instead of waiting for the newly engaged couple to reach out to you, you are the one who takes initiative, slides in their DMs, and you reach out to them first. You start a conversation with them, which eventually leads to a wedding consultation with them over on Zoom. And if you know what you're saying, this 100% works. We've had a lot of students book a lot more weddings faster just by sliding in their DMs. And this is a really important strategy as well, because the longer a wedding couple procrastinates to reach out to you, the more time your competitors have to market to them and take that prospect away from you. So actually this week, I made a more in-depth video teaching the actual script we use for this advancing the conversation DMing journey. After this video, you can check out the link in the description called Advancing the Conversation, and you can watch that YouTube video next to learn the script word for word. So that's number 1. Advance the conversation. Number 2 of 5, schedule wedding consultations, whether if that's in person or on Zoom, instead of just emailing a pricing guide. Now, it's important to know what you're doing when you do wedding consultations, but even if you don't quite know what you're doing yet, simply just doing those wedding consultations on Zoom could easily double your bookings versus if you're just going to send an email a pricing guide to them. And the reason of that is because number 1, it's more personal. Number 2, done right, it's easier to show your true value and what makes you different, what makes you unique. So it raises their perceived value of what you're all about. Instead of them just seeing you as another wedding photographer or filmmaker out there, you're able to truly communicate your high-end value, which is a lot more difficult to do with just emailing a pricing guide. When it comes to booking more weddings, especially high-end weddings, it takes that personal touch. It takes doing a wedding consultation with them. So number 2, schedule wedding consultations instead of just emailing a pricing guide. If you have a pricing guide, email them that after the wedding consultation. And if you want to learn more about how to actually do these wedding consultations better, make sure to check out our free masterclass. There's a link to it where you can register for it in the description of this video as well. Number 3, this one's going to be a really easy one for a lot of you, but it's just actually doing call to actions. So on your social media platforms, you're probably posting a lot of wedding photography, a lot of tips, a lot of value, maybe wedding films for newly engaged couples to see. But that's all you're doing. And the funny thing about the internet is, even though it's pretty obvious what people should do, a lot of your prospects will not connect the dots. You may be posting a lot of content to build trust and build a fan base, but these prospects might be procrastinating, they're not inquiring. So you need to lead more. Tell them what to do so they take action and they send you that wedding inquiry. So I personally like to do the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time I'm sharing my work, maybe sharing testimonials, giving a ton of value, nurturing your prospects that are following you. Then 20% of the time, actually have a call to action so they click on a link, they reach out to you and inquire about wedding dates. So that could easily sound something like, hope you've been loving the content. Dates are filling up really quickly. If you want to make sure your wedding date is still available, inquire with the link we have in bio, or click this link below, something like that. So 20% of the time, after you've been nurturing your leads, ask for the sale. Ask for them to inquire. The leads who are low-hanging fruit, instead of them procrastinating in their wedding planning journey, you can get them to reach out to you ASAP before your competitors get to them. Let's review real quick. Number 1 was advance the conversation with engaged couples who are following you. Number 2, schedule wedding consultations instead of emailing pricing guides. And number 3, don't expect wedding couples to connect the dots. 20% of the time with your social media content, send out a call to action. Now, number 4 of 5. This one is more of a long-term strategy, but I thought it was a really important one to put in here as well. Number 4 is to do weekly YouTube videos and blogging. And this is going to be huge in the long-term game when it comes to your organic growth and building a fan base. People who will automatically feel trust in you just by seeing your face more often as well. And I actually have a colleague who is doing this right now as well for the local market, where 100% of his high-end clients are from YouTube organic. And this is going to be huge for your SEO as well, because YouTube and Google use the same algorithm. So the game plan of what I want you to do is one 10 to 20 minute video every single week with this format. Hook, introduction of who you are, a mini call to action, a body of your video, and then a big call to action. So for example, that might look like with the hook. That could be the top 10 wedding venues in Nashville, Tennessee, if you live in Nashville, Tennessee. Or 5 posing tips for Nashville couples, a walkthrough of the Lookout Mountain venue, and so on. There are a ton of different topics that you can do. After the hook, you're gonna do an introduction of who you are. You can do a mini call to action. So for example, I love what my friend does. He actually has a Google number that people can text or call, but whether if they text or call, he 100% knows that if they're texting that number, it comes from a YouTube video. So before you get into all the good content of your video, you could say something like, and before we get started, if you are looking for a wedding photographer and you want to see if your date's available with us, feel free to text this number on the screen right now. We'll reply to see if your wedding date is available. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get more great wedding planning tips. Something like that. After you have that mini call to action, you're gonna get into the body of your video. All the value, all the content of whatever the topic of your hook was. And then at the end of the video, a big call to action to like, comment, subscribe, and to jump on your website or text that Google number, etc. And what you're gonna see if you are consistent with this every single week, you're gonna start to build momentum in 3 to 6 months, and then start putting those YouTube videos on your website's blogs as well with long descriptions, so it really pumps up SEO on your website as well. And what I think is so cool what the YouTube algorithm does is if you're really consistent with this every single week, you're using the right tags, using the right headlines to get newly engaged couples local in your area, YouTube's algorithm will start to build an avatar of the type of person who is viewing your videos. So for you, that's going to be engaged couples who are in your local market. And just through this alone, you're going to see huge organic growth happen dramatically for your business. But you have to be consistent is key. So this is more of a long-term strategy, but is super important. Weekly YouTube channel and blogging to really build a high-end brand. So that's number 4. Weekly YouTube videos and weekly blogging. That's going to do wonders for your SEO and building an organic local fan base. And number 5, which is my favorite, run Facebook ads and Facebook retargeting ads. Now, we've tested this with almost 1,000 students worldwide. And when you master the skill of Facebook ads and retargeting ads for the wedding photography or filmmaking industry, it 100% is the fastest way to scale your business. You know, me and my students, if we want wedding photography leads, we can simply pop up an ad and start generating newly engaged leads into our business within 24 hours. It is absolutely insane. And if you know what you're doing as far as the copy, the offers, the funnel, the targeting, you can easily get 20 to 50 to 70, even sometimes as high as 100 newly engaged leads every single month in your business. You will never have to worry about newly engaged couples not finding out about you. And once you start, mastering that skill of running Facebook ads to cold newly engaged couples, you can start doing retargeting. So everyone who has ever been on your website, you can send out a retargeting ad to them so they don't forget about you and they inquire. You're able to book those weddings right away. So if you're someone who is serious in scaling quickly, Facebook ads, the cold traffic, and retargeting ads will be a must for you to learn. And if you want to learn more about this, make sure to register for our free masterclass in the description of the video or one of the coaching calls and strategy sessions. And we'll go really in depth in all of that as well, especially when it comes to Facebook ad targeting. So those are the 5 things that you need to be doing right now that can start generating wedding clients immediately. So let's go over those 5 actions again. Number 1, advance the conversation with engaged couples following you. This is something that can work immediately. If you want to learn the script, I'll add that YouTube link in the description of the video. Number 2, schedule wedding consultations to talk about your services instead of just emailing a pricing guide. It's important to know what you're doing when you do these wedding consultations as well. But even if you don't know and you're just kind of winging it, this can still help conversions a lot. If you do want to learn more about wedding consultations, make sure to register for the free masterclass in the description as well. Number 3, call to actions. Don't just think couples are going to connect the dots. You'll often find a lot of prospects procrastinating in their customer journey. So 80% of the time, a lot of nurturing content, 20% of the time, make sure you have those call to actions asking them to inquire. Number 4, this is more of a long-term strategy, but weekly YouTube videos and weekly blogging. And if you want this to work out well, you have to be consistent. And if you are consistent, this can dramatically grow your organic growth. And last but not least, number 5, run Facebook ads and Facebook retargeting ads. This 100% is the fastest way to scale a wedding photography or filmmaking business. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you have a really powerful marketing funnel as well. In the description of this video, if you want to go in depth on those things, make sure to register for the free masterclass and the free coaching calls and strategy sessions as well. And that is it, guys. Those are 5 actions you can start doing right now to start booking more weddings immediately. If this helped build clarity for you, make sure to hit that like button. Comment any questions that you have, any more topics that you'd like to learn more about. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell in the corner so you don't miss out on some of our best content. And if you're a wedding photographer or a filmmaker who is very serious and you want to hit those deep 6-figure levels like a lot of our students, don't forget to hit the description of this video. Register for our free masterclass. We have an awesome 40-minute training for you where we go into a lot of these things in depth. And you can even schedule a free coaching call and strategy session with me or someone from our team, and we'll meet on Zoom. We'll diagnose your business, audit your website and portfolio, and see if and how we can help. So I hope you found this video incredibly valuable. I'll see you on the next one.